Now, Sports Talk with Broads. Here's Hunter Brody.
What is going on, everyone? Let's talk Sixers basketball. There are some fans that see the 6-3 record, they saw what happened out west, and they are ready to jump off the bandwagon. They don't believe it's possible anymore because of 9 games early in the season, okay? There are some fans that want Brett Brown fired today, and they want Ben Simmons traded right after that. All right? There are some fans that are optimistic. They know it's just November. They're more mellow. They're more chill. They think the team just needs time to gel and figure each other out. All right. It doesn't matter where you fall within the fan base. There's one thing that's not being discussed enough, and that's Joel Embiid coming into the season out of shape, and it seems as if he's not engaged. That bothers me. You are a professional athlete. Your job all offseason long is put yourself in the best position to start the season. You're not going to be 100% in game shape to start the season because the only way to get into game shape is to play legitimate minutes. Playing real game speed of the NBA will get you in shape. But you can put yourself in the best position to start the season. And Joel Embiid did not do that. I'm sure he changed his diet like things were discussed. And I saw pictures of him cutting weight. But guess what? It hasn't been good enough. He is so tired and he's fatigued. He has his hands on his knees at all times. We're 9 games into the season, dude. You gotta be in better shape than that. You just have to be. Before we talk about this more, do not forget about the promo code BROADS that you can use at SeatGeek's checkout page for $20 off of your tickets. So make sure you use the promo code BROADS and get yourself to a game. Why this bothers me? One, because like I stated, you're a professional athlete. You are obligated to do that. But he is the leader of this team. He has this big personality. He's the face of the franchise. He's the leader. People feed off of him and off of that energy that he brings. Well, it's almost as if there's a lack of energy based off the fact that he isn't really fully there. And he gets suspended 2 games, so he loses time to run up and down the floor. Why does it seem for Joel Embiid, if he misses 1 game, he goes from 85% there to 40% there? He loses that much stamina when he doesn't play 1 or 2 basketball games. That's insane. It really is. But it's what it is. I mean, we've seen it so many times now. When he misses time, he comes out when he's back, and it's a complete mess. It's a dumpster fire. So that's why I think that the Sixers need to address the load management differently. I think the philosophy is you don't really abuse him early on. You let him just ride it out through the season so his stamina will progress until you reach the playoffs where he will be full throttle. I don't know if this load management, don't play him on back-to-backs, I don't know if that's the right way to handle this guy just based off of what I've seen throughout his career so far. He needs to play, if he's going to be sat and if he's going to have load management, he needs to play games still. For example, he played 26 minutes against Charlotte. Well, why not, instead of sitting him a full game, why can't he play 18 minutes? And Kyle O'Quinn can step in because he's been doing a hell of a job, and Al Horford as well. So instead of 0 minutes, he gets 18 minutes. Now, is 18 minutes going to get him up to full speed where we need him to be? No, but I still think it's better than 0. The dude has to play. If he sits, he loses his entire mojo. Now, I don't know why it's that way. I can't tell you. But it is. And my eyeballs have seen it too many times now. But it's not just the conditioning. He looks disengaged. As if he doesn't even want to be out there. As if he's doing what some of the fans are and just overlooking the regular season. But you can't do that as a pro athlete. I'm sorry, it's the wrong way to do this. And I'm not sitting here trying to rip apart Joel Embiid and say he's this horrible guy and he's never going to work out and he's never going to find his conditioning this season at all. Because guess what? He's going to have to. Okay? He's going to have to if this team wants to be something legit. But this is what I've seen so far through 9 games. It all comes down to the start of the season. That's my issue. It's the start of the season. So how are you not in good shape at all? Like, at all. Same with Jokic. You saw him, too. He looked like he put on 200 pounds out there, and he was slow as hell. But Cody Zeller has Embiid running back and forth, and the big man is just exhausted. That means he didn't put in enough effort in the offseason. That's what that's telling me. And I guess that's more of the big picture, and that's more of the problem that I have. He didn't do everything he needed to do in the offseason. One thing I heard, and I thought it was actually very true, with Embiid, he'll hustle when it's noticeable. So he will die for a loose ball, and he'll make sure he hits the first or second row of stands. When he's chasing down a block and he smacks it against the backboard, you notice that type of play. It's a big energy play, and people recognize him. Then he gives the crowd one of these and the waves and all that good stuff to get the crowd going. But what about the little things when hustle is involved? For example, in the post, bodying up, footwork. The little things that aren't so splashy to the fan. The diehard fans will understand, but you know what I'm saying. It's not the highlight reel stuff. No one's going to zoom in. ESPN isn't going to zoom in on Joel Embiid's footwork down low in the paint and battling and putting his back to the basket and really working a defender. No one's going to do that if he ends up putting in a 2-foot baby hook. But he's not doing that right now. I'm not trying to make it seem like he's this insane disappointment. Really, I'm not. But he's out of shape, and that bothers me. That's the point here. Joel Embiid is out of shape. We rip Ben Simmons apart all the time. He has this jump shot problem. We all know it. We get upset that we've seen a million videos and he was knocking down these jumpers all the time and it looked smooth and it looked different. And then here's the season after hitting a three-pointer in the preseason and we haven't seen a lick of anything. So we get frustrated. But he's always in shape. He's always rocking a ton of minutes. He's never hanging his head and hanging his body and looking fatigued. He's in shape and he's running up and down the floor with a 6'10" body frame and always in shape and available. Now, I'm not saying that means it's okay that he's not shooting. But we rip him apart for not getting better. That's what a lot of the fans say. He didn't add anything to his game. Ben Simmons did not get any better. Did Joel Embiid get any better? So I'm just bringing that out. I'm bringing it up to the fan base. Why has this gone unnoticed? It hasn't been discussed enough. It's an issue. We talk about the turnovers. The guy's been turning the ball over a lot. He had, 8 in one game? He's dribbling too much. His decision-making is horrible right now. He doesn't know if he's going to pump fake, if he's actually going to shoot the three, if he's going to, back down a defender, if he's going to kick it out. I think his decision-making is very slow, and he also believes he has handles like James Harden, and it's costing the team. I think he'll figure it out. I do. And I think it will get better as the season goes on. But I still want to bring it up 9 games into the season. He was unprepared coming in. He doesn't look good right now as a whole. That's just how I see it. I have not been satisfied with Joel Embiid's play or his conditioning level. Because that means he didn't prepare enough in the offseason for this run. And that bothers me as a fan. Some people like to bring up the fact that Ben Simmons hasn't been the primary ball handler since he's been injured. So maybe Neto doesn't have the same feel and the same connection with Joel Embiid and same with Trey Burke. So in terms of delivering the ball to Embiid in certain spots, maybe there's not the same chemistry. I'm not going to say that that's the issue here. I'm just not. That's not the way I see it. Joel Embiid being tired and not being able to keep up has nothing to do with Neto being the guy who's putting the ball in Joel Embiid's hands in the post. We're talking Embiid not being able to get back for plays. At one point over the last couple games, Embiid was standing on the offensive side of the court when something happened on the other side. That's laziness. That's not working hard. I love Embiid. I do. I don't like how he came into this season. Interesting quote here by Brett Brown, by the way. And I think it makes sense with this conversation, although it goes bigger than just Joel Embiid. But it has to do with the turnovers. This is what I tell the team. Until we can fix this, this is a house built on sand. It is fool's gold in terms of the turnovers. Now, I think some of that goes on Brett Brown because he gives this team freestyle. Hey, go out there and play. Go out there and run the pace you want to run. Be fast. Do what you want to do. Just go out there and play. That's really the philosophy of Brett Brown, which leads to turnovers. But there are also times Joel Embiid's at the top of the key. He tries to make a pass, and it just goes right out of bounds. And the players are not on the same page. And sometimes you look at it and say, well, do the players have to perform? Yeah, they do. Some of these turnovers has nothing to do with Brett Brown, and the turnovers are just the turnovers and the players not being engaged. But I think you need to look at Joel Embiid as the leader of this team. Al Horford is a professional, and his voice is very loud. Josh Richardson has some say in the locker room as well. Ben Simmons is a key piece to the locker room and the leadership. But Joel Embiid is the franchise. It's based off of his personality, who he is, his humor, his laughter, his smile, his goofballness, all of it. He is the leader of the ship here. And it runs through him, and it runs through his style of play, and it runs through his effectiveness. And I don't think he's being the best version of himself right now. I think he was efficient in his 18 minutes against the Hornets, but he looked super tired. You need to come into the season more prepared. He still seems very immature. I thought he was over it. He even said it before the season started. I'm done with the social media stuff. Then Karl Anthony Towns happens. Then the tweets happen afterwards. And it looks like he's right back into that. He is still very immature. I thought I saw some steps with that. Apparently not. Because the start of the season for him, physically, has shown me that he has not matured. And he did not put basketball... He didn't put the priority of coming in shape at the highest that it should have been. If that makes sense. What I'm pretty much getting at here is, and I'm getting pissed off just thinking about it. He didn't come in prepared enough. Physically. Training-wise. It's showing. It's showing. Let me know your thoughts down below on this. I'm very interested to hear your thoughts. Thank you so much for listening. Hit that thumbs up button, subscribe, and I'll see you next time.